Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Power of Pebbles and Angels this afternoon. I am here in Annapolis, Maryland, and it's a little rainy today. I'm just here to share with you what I've discovered in my 41 plus years since my daughter Amber died of cancer, and how I have harnessed that pain and channeled it into power to help others in the world, and to invite people to not choose the dark, but to live in the light. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I put together a little PowerPoint, and let's see here. Let me see if I can share that. There you go. Share screen. Okay. There we go. Let me get this PowerPoint up. So I'm going to share the entire screen. Get the slideshow going. There we go. So, you know, pebbles are tiny little things, but the ripples that they create are amazing. I always call myself a pebble thrower in the still pond of life. And these are my pebbles, and I actually pass them out as I go through life. I have these beautiful blue organza bags filled with cards with a special message and these little pewter guardian angel pebbles. And I pass those out as I go along through life. Angels. Oh gosh, I'm 68, and I'm just in the past 5 or so years, everything's coming together. I was born actually in Los Angeles, the city of angels, and I came through the portal, if you will, of the Queen of Angels Hospital, October 30th, 1953. Geez, you know, throughout my childhood and my life, I always felt as though I was chosen, because I think we all are chosen. But I had this suspicion, if you will, that I just was here for a special reason. I chose my family. Unfortunately, they were very abusive, and it taught me how to be independent, how to rely on what was inside my heart, how to discern. It really did prepare me for the world and for my life task in the future. So here's Amber. I gave birth to Amber when I was 22, and she was the most precious, precious little girl. I discovered a tumor behind her, a small lump behind her right ear in August of '79. I was a single mother, and my first thought was, oh my God, cancer. And I didn't even know kids got cancer, but they do. I know that now. But so I took her to 8 different doctors all over the state of Connecticut, trying to convince them to biopsy, but they wouldn't. So I had to just beg, basically, for them to biopsy the tumor. This is some of her modeling photographs, and she actually had the lump behind her ear during that time. She fell and hit it on a fireplace, and it actually doubled in size, so they excised it at Yale New Haven Hospital. The night before surgery, they were telling me that it couldn't possibly be cancer, but it was, and it was in the 3rd stage. So when I went to the prognosis meeting, I said, you know, isn't there anything else besides chemotherapy and radiation? They had already taken the initial tumor out. And they said, no, this is all there is. So because of my experience, I ended up, when Amber was discharged, I took her to the New Haven Register, and I basically asked a public plea, is there any other cancer therapies? This was before the personal computer. And so therefore, I started getting telegrams and phone calls, and, there's so much out there. I just documented everything. I didn't know why. But I ended up deciding on giving her immunotherapy. And because we were in the media and on TV and in the news, I had to sneak out of the country to give her immunotherapy because it was not available in the United States. Dr. Lawrence Burton, his clinic in Freeport, Bahamas. So this is Amber. She, lost her hair because of the radiation to her skull. But in order to get her used to getting her blood drawn 3 times a day, I would draw her blood. We let her pull Gary's blood. That's my son's father, who was born after Amber died. So Amber actually pulled Gary's blood, and Dr. Burton gave her a mouse here, one of his lab mice, and we did our best to make the most of our time in the Bahamas. When we got down there, the initial tumor that started to grow back under where the first tumor was excised started to grow back, but once we got it into the immunotherapy program, it flattened out. Then she got tonsillitis and the tumor started to grow again. So we tried to find a surgeon to help us just, take what they could. They call it debulking, just take what they could. It was very difficult, but we ended up Bernie Siegel, he's an amazing, amazing doctor. He was her surgeon, and he agreed to take her and treat her as his own. So he admitted her to St. Raphael's Hospital in New Haven, Connecticut. He assembled a team of surgeons and tried to save her life. While I was in the gift shop trying to get something for Amber to, ease her pain, she was taking some tests. I was standing in line and I'd heard, turn around. And I did, and I saw these big, huge golden keys. And I heard, and she picked the clothes that she wanted to die in, and she went into a coma on my 27th birthday, on October 30th, 1980. And I was telling her everything I wanted her to know. You're just the most beautiful little girl, and thank you for teaching me what love feels like. And all of a sudden tears started to come down her eyes, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I wiped her tears, and then a lot of tears came down. And as soon as I said the words, I'll be okay, Amber, I'll be okay, be with God now. As soon as I said those words, she stopped breathing, and I physically felt her move through my body and into the light, merging with the light. Had I not audio recorded it, I probably would have let it slip into history. But now I know that that is true, that we just change. Our bodies die, but we never leave. Amber's with me now as I'm speaking with you. So as I've grown through the years, I won't say I wrote Embrace the Angel, but I typed Embrace the Angel. I always call it Amber's book. And one of the things that came through to me while I was writing that book or typing was to spread Amber's message of hope, heaven, and the miracle of life and death, because both are miracles. So here's the key to heaven. Here's Amber holding the key to heaven as she died. And here's her book, Embrace the Angel. And for me, when I decided on a title for the book, it was basically a call to action for those who are grieving and those who are dying, is to embrace the angel, because your angel is there with you. And when I designed this, the book cover, I actually put the key to heaven in her hand. So those are the angels. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But here's the pebbles. Now, this is my dog, Annie. She's now an angel as well. And she is actually sniffing my symbol. We all have a symbol that the other side exists. And it basically is a gentle reminder for us in this lifetime to always remember that we're not alone. And just on the other side of everything we see, feel, hear, touch, smell is a whole nother universe of angels and love and light and goodness. So here's where I got the idea about the pebbles and the ripples from Annie. I used to take her to Quiet Waters Park and walk her every day. So I discovered these really cool pewter guardian angel coins, and I decided to create a card. So as I go through life, it doesn't matter who I contact, whether it's, the UPS driver or someone cleaning the bathrooms or a ticket agent or a waitress or waiter. I usually will hold out this bag and I'll say, I'm a pebble thrower in the still pond of life. And these are my pebbles. Choose one for yourself and one for someone you love. And out of the thousands of coins that I've given out around the world, very few, probably less than a handful of people were like, no thanks, no thanks. Just, ran away. But everyone else looks into my eyes. They believe they can trust me, which I'm incredibly grateful for because I am worthy of their trust. And they take 2 cards. I'll say, peel off the pebble/coin and let's see what your special word is. So these are the 5 words that are on the back of the coins. And oh my gosh, these little tiny coins have changed lives around the world. I've had people just rush up before COVID, of course, but rush up and just embrace me sobbing and telling me that their father just died or their child or, someone that they dearly love. We've had amazing, deep, profound conversations through time. And it's just one way, one small gesture to connect with another human being on a very, very true, heartfelt level. And I'm very, very blessed to be doing this. So this is what I say again. Again, great things are done by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. It doesn't have to be huge. It could be a matter of letting someone in traffic or a kind word or a smile, a genuine smile. Making a dinner for somebody who's grieving. There's so many ways, and I'm sure if you're watching this, you're one of those pebble throwers too. When I started painting silk, I had a beautiful silk painting teacher, Rebecca Pearson, and I started to hand paint silk scarves and other things. And I was facilitating a group of newly bereaved with Noel Castiglia and for the bereaved parents of the USA, which is an amazing, amazing organization. And I'll be speaking at their national conference July 22nd. So it's in St. Louis, and I am thrilled and humbled. So that's an aside. But I was in the Annapolis chapter here in Annapolis, and I was facilitating this group of newly bereaved. And as they were talking, especially the mothers, I was thinking, what if I could paint a silk scarf and make it like heavenly and write beautiful inspirational quotes around the edges so that when they're in the depths of despair, they can literally feel their loved one through the silk. One of the things I've studied grief and grieving. I'm a life coach and an end-of-life doula and a grief educator and coach through David Kessler. And one of the things I found in the grief world that's missing is addressing the physical needs that we have when our loved one dies. It's the physical part, the hearing, the touching, the holding. And what these beautiful silk scarves, because silk feels very much like skin, these beautiful silk scarves do is they allow people that are grieving to literally feel their angel. This is the very first Embrace the Angel scarf on the left here. And then what I did, because I was donating them, I was hand painting them. My hand could not keep up, sadly, with the demand. So I had to find another way, and I ended up taking photographs all over the world of angels and then putting them on these beautiful silk scarves and ties, and my favorite is the pillow. I was collecting drawings for these pillows of children's drawings of angels rather, and as I was collecting them, the kids were amazing. And there's 99 drawings of angels on this pillow. The pillow and the tie are silk satin, and the scarves are what they call habotai silk. And there's also black scarves and ties. So we have a Be an Angel, Comfort an Angel program through my company, which is Tobias and Company, named after my son, Toby. And we donate a silk scarf, tie, or pillow to a bereaved mother, father, or critically ill child for each one purchased. So it's our Be an Angel, Comfort an Angel program. So power. Here we are in this world feeling, I'm sure, I know I have felt this way, helpless and hopeless and wondering what to do next and what difference can I make in the world. So in the past, oh gosh, well, 6 or so years, I have been getting angel numbers all over my life, several times a day. So when I think about my power and when I think about the power available to me in the universe, I'm pretty small. But when I tap into the power on the other side, the power that Amber talked about, it is an amazing experience. But there are times, frankly, when I feel scared, actually terrified and alone and desperate at times to connect. So I divorced 4 years ago, and it was a very traumatic marriage. And I decided to leave, and I bought a tiny home, which is where I am now. Angelina, she is my 28-foot grand design. I love this simple, small lifestyle. It's large in so many ways. But yeah, so here I am on the top of Angelina right before I hitched her up and took her to Florida last winter, not this past, but the previous winter. Not all by myself, but physically, yes, physically, I hitched her up, towed her 1,000 miles, stayed for the winter in a beautiful place with amazing people, and hitched her back up and came back home to Annapolis, where this is my headquarters for my Circle of Angels. So I always wanted to try skydiving, and I did it. I loved it. And here I am in Costa Rica spelunking, and no, I did not kiss that spider, but it was huge. So when I was down in Florida, it was COVID, so I was rather isolated. I was like up at the top of the hill, and people would come by and they would say, "Oh my God, did you bring that here all by yourself? Oh, you're so brave. Oh, it took so much courage." And I was thinking, oh my God. So I would say, "Hey, I'll call you next time I'm sitting at the bottom of my shower, crying my eyes out and letting my tears go down the drain." And but it got me thinking, brave, sometimes I am, but I'm not there all the time. And what I realized, it was sort of like a teeter-totter. So that's not me, but it could be. I love to play, even now at 68. So I found that brave is a sacred space that exists between, oh my God, on one end, and holy guacamole on the other. So you can balance in the center and be brave between those two, but you can't live here all the time. No human being lives in the sacred space of brave 24/7. Trust me, not even the Pope. So how do I find it? I listen to the universe, definitely, with curiosity and tenderness and an open, loving heart. Finally, I accept my life task of sharing Amber's message with grace, and I practice daily self-care, reflection, learning, connecting, and creating. And just knowing I always have a choice between the light and the dark, and it's the space between what happens to us and how we react. So everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. And that is one of the most profound books. I love that book. I listen to it often because all of us, we've been through so much. And if we can find the power and the passion in the pain, I think the way in is to find meaning. And that's what I've done. I've taken the pain of Amber and my marriages and my traumatic childhood, and I've, for the most part, taken that pain and transformed it because I found meaning and purpose in Amber's death especially. So these are some of the things I do. I stay open to the signs. And when I was walking Annie in Quiet Waters Park each day, there wouldn't be any wind, and I would see this leaf. It would be like waving at me, like, Mom, I'm here. I'm here, Mom. It was just Amber's little reminder. And so I recorded and took tons and tons of photos, but this is a short little video that you can see. In the center of the screen of this little video here is a leaf just waving as the leaves are falling. And it's fall, of course. Letting go is so important. And here's Annie. Getting bopped on the head.
Like fall? Annie? You like fall?
So Annie was not very talkative, but she didn't have to be because we communicated on such a profound level. When I was walking her in Quiet Waters Park one day, I was listening to Rhonda Byrne's The Power. She also wrote, oh gosh, okay, I'll think of it. Anyway, so I was listening to her book, The Power, and she was talking about signs that would appear in our life from the other side to let us know that they're there. And so as soon as she said that, I heard the word feather. And I'm like, no, I don't want feather. I want like rainbow or, waterfall or something magnificent. Feather. And I kept hearing the word feather. So I can honestly tell you, feathers have appeared to in my life so many times. Like, you can't believe how many times I get feathers in my life. So it's a really sweet reminder. And this skeleton angel here, I call him Elmer. When I was in Catholic school, the nuns, of course, would try to tell us about how God is everywhere and he's in everything. And, my head could not wrap around the concept of that. And I was taking Jack Davis's workshop. He's a National Geographic photographer. I was taking his workshop in Molokai, Hawaii. And, we were going around and talking about different things. And I basically realized that God or the divine or the power or the universe is in everything. And it is the energy, the space between the atoms and the molecules. It's what basically holds everything together in this temporal world that we see. And as a result, I decided to call God Elmer for the glue. And so this is Elmer, and he rides shotgun with me in Larry, my Ford F-250 Lariat that tows Angelina. It's just a fun, playful reminder of the divine. And let's see if we can't get another slide going here. There we go. So here's just some of the photographs of some of the angels that I've taken through time. There are probably thousands of them at this point. But here are just some. And basically, angel numbers, if you look up angel numbers, you'll see 1111 or a series of like 222, you'll see up here. 111, very, very interesting. And I'm meant to think about what I'm thinking at the time that I see these numbers appear, and listen very, very closely to the message that's in these numbers and what I'm doing and thinking and feeling. So the 111 and the 222, it's a photograph taken by Jack Shim. He was one of the participants in Hawaii. And this is in Molokai, standing at sunrise overlooking a peninsula. And this is the leper colony, where people were brought from all over the world if they had leprosy. It's just an amazing place. So how do I heal? How do I take care of myself? What do I do? Well, I treat myself really, really tenderly. I think tenderness and grace are the two words that pop out when I think about myself and others. I speak to myself super gently. I call myself sweetheart and darling, and I tell myself I love you. It's just a really neat thing. I do have a hope and healing pocket guide, and it is available. It's lots of different things that I do in my life to basically feather my nest and take good care of myself. So yeah, and I have soft lighting, I have tea, I keep my brain book, which is a small weekly diary or agenda rather. And I sync that up with my iPhone so that I've got a lot of different things going on. It just keeps me straight, and it comes out of my head and onto the brain book, I call it. And then I have the AirPods. One of the most profound teachers that I've run across, actually Lori Salzman from my Grief Educators group recommended her. It's on Insight Timer. It's an app. It's Insight Timer. And her name is Sarah Blondin. And Lori introduced me to her. And as soon as I started listening, wow, my heart started healing so quickly. And it was really a beautiful thing. So I've listened to a few different teachers, and I have different books that I've listened to. I listened to hundreds and hundreds of Audible books. And I take Tai Chi classes at Jing Ying Institute. I walk my neighbor Rita and Larry and Sophie and Ellie's dogs. One's named Toby. Who knew, right? They didn't name him after my son. It was quite the coincidence, though. He's a great dog. And they just got Sky. So Sky's a beautiful, I think she's a Jack Russell wire-haired mix, but she's amazing. So I walk with them. I walk with Rita. I drink some lemon water and do guided meditations in the morning. And I have done tapping and EMDR therapy. I dance around my rig with wild abandon, and I sing. Singing, I'm learning just recently, the vagus nerve, which is an important nerve in our body that keeps us regulated, is right by your vocal cords. So singing is a beautiful thing. And I also do my best whenever I possibly can to be in the moment, because truly that's the only place that life exists, is now, right here, right now. So yeah, so I love my grief educators. I hold a Zoom once a week, and the grief educators, we all get together and we support each other, and I love them so much. And that and my Circle of Angels. I mean, here in Annapolis, the headquarters for my Circle of Angels, I am so supported. I feel so loved. And I feel incredibly blessed to be in this safe and this simple, serene, beautiful little tiny home. It kind of reminds me when I used to live aboard. I used to live aboard a boat with Gary and Toby, my son. And so it's nice. It's very simple. It's very modern. It was brand new when I bought it in 2020, and it feels really spacious. 9-foot ceilings, 12 feet wide, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful life. So I feel incredibly blessed to be welcomed here, and yeah, I'm feeling very blessed. So here I am. This is me. This is what I'm doing in my life today. I believe that each one of us has a life lesson and a life task. Now, my life lesson happens to be patience. And I I sometimes joke that I'm getting my doctorate in patience as we speak. And so if I'm standing in line or whatever and talking to somebody in line, wherever that might be, and they'll say, "Oh, really?" Like they believe that I'm actually getting a doctorate. But yeah, patience is something that I've had to learn because sometimes I can be impulsive and impetuous and passionate and just want to do things. But patience is something that I've learned through the years that ties in with my favorite word of all time, equanimity. Yes, I know. I didn't know what that word meant either. But it was in a lot of the meditations that I listened to with Calm and 10% Happier, and people were mentioning equanimity, and I just love that word. What it means is the smooth inside you have, no matter what's going on outside, no matter what sounds, or if you're stuck in traffic, or whatever's going on the outside of you. You let it in, you let it go. You let it in, you let it go. It's just being equanimous, not pushing anything away, not clinging to anything. So that's my favorite word of all time, equanimity. I love it. So here I am with Larry. I got these really cool decals. Embrace the Angel. That is our giving back division of Tobias and Company. That's my company. And I love, love, love giving back because I do believe that I have been given so much. So here's me doing my little angel factory, I call it, in my rig. I'm planting a seed in the world called choose to live in the light, because we do, especially now, live in a very, very dark world, and we always have a choice. We have a choice between light and dark. Some people, we're all born in the light. We all come from the light. We're all born in the light. I remember being in the womb. I remember being born, and not with words, but that was the most excruciating and painful experience that I experienced, and every human being does. Incredibly painful. And I believe we're all born angels. We all come into the world from the other side an angel at some point, or many points, one after the other, compounded. Some people actually choose the dark. They choose to hurt. They choose to lie and steal and cheat and murder and abuse. People actually do choose these things. It was hard for me to believe, hard for me to even admit that that was the truth. But after learning the hard way, I now know it's a choice. So I would like to offer you to choose to live in the light. And this photograph here on the far right, it was so neat. Grace, I'll tell you about her a little bit later, but Grace, I was, assembling a little package for her, and I put it on the bed in my rig, and as I focused in my iPhone and I started to take the picture, I was like, oh my God, what there was a light coming from the light, the word light. And there was no direct light. It was reflecting off of the mirror. So I was like just taken aback. And these are the sorts of miracles that I have in my life every day. And here I am at the end of winter. I survived the winter in my tiny home. I'm so proud. Just feeling the sunshine on my face and loving the life that I'm living. I put this decal here on the side. It says, home, where the people who love you live. Yes, that's so true. Yes, and visit. They visit me too. Here's my little pebble pouch, and we're actually going to do a nationwide tour, a Power of Pebbles and Angels nationwide tour next year in 2023. And we are starting off at the Danforth Pewter Company, and they are what we call the Angel Factory. They make these little pewter coins for us. They're up in Middlebury, Vermont. And they are an incredible group of people. I went up once, I toured the factory, and they invited me to videotape it, which I have, having these coins made, which is a really, really cool thing. I'm working on doing lots and lots of editing in the next few months to continue populating our Embrace the Angel YouTube channel. And here is the angel display at Local by Design. It's a really neat store. Susan Sears is the owner. There's one on Main Street and one in the mall in Annapolis, and they are hosting our angels. So people can go into the retail store and buy our angels. And they're also available on embracetheangel.com. So this is the coolest thing ever. Our brand new, less than 2 weeks old, we got the delivery from China. I did a Kickstarter campaign for Grace's Angels to be able to get the seed money to create this pillow. And we will fold it into our Be an Angel, Comfort an Angel program. For every pillow cover purchased, we will donate one to a bereaved mother, child, or critically ill child. Sorry. Well, mothers, yes, mothers and fathers and children, whoever is grieving, but especially children. So I ran across Grace. She was 9 years old at the time while I was walking Annie in Quiet Park. And I was just desperate for angels for that first pillow cover that Grace is holding. And so she said, oh, can I take some of these back to my class and get their angels? I said, sure. Yeah. I was like, thank you. And so Grace took the stack back to her class. She collected their angels. And a couple of weeks later, I got an audio recording from Kristen, Grace's mother. It's on our website, embracetheangel.com, under Angels in Action. Scroll down, you'll see a picture of Grace. It's 45 seconds long, and it is amazing. She talks all about angels like they're her very best friends. And at the very end of the 45 seconds, she declares, I want to collect 100 angels for sick kids around the world. That was 4 years ago. She's 14 now. That's her. That I had given her a pillow. She didn't collect 100 angels. She collected 164 angels, and from all over the world. In the very center of the Grace's Angels pillow, I decided to call the next pillow Grace's Angels. It was her favorite color, which is seafoam green. 164 angels, and I put little words in the center and all over the pillow so that when sick kids were holding it, they could be inspired. The kids themselves, actually, the angel artists, put really cool messages in there as well. And so here's the pillow, and in the very center, right as I was getting ready to send the artwork to China, I heard from Grace's mother, Kristen, and she said, oh, Grace wants to make a Ukrainian angel. And I'm like, well, you know, she wants to put that one on the pillow. I'm like, well, which one is that? And they were really involved. So she's like, just go with it. I'm thinking, uh-oh. I've got to guess out of 164 which one's a Ukrainian angel. Uh-oh. But I took a leap of faith, literally, put that blue and yellow angel in the center, enlarged it slightly. And when I got the photograph on the far right of Kiki, which is Sunny's daughter, she's our supplier in China, holding the pillow, I sent that to Kristen, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Patti, Grace's Ukrainian angel, there it is." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." So yeah, Grace, I have two set aside for Grace, numbering each one of the pillows so that they can be even more special with some gold, what they call Gouda, that you use in silk painting. So anyway, yeah, I'm numbering them all. I saved number 9 and number 14 for Grace because she was 9 years old then and 14 now. So we are just so excited to give these to sick kids around the world. And let's see. So here's Embrace the Angel, and it is, as I said, the Giving Back division of Tobias and Company, LLC. It's the not-for-profit that supports our angel work. So we're not a 501c3, but we are definitely not for profit. All the proceeds that we get from selling our beautiful doors, knockers, and windows of Tuscany and knockers of Annapolis. These are all photographs I've taken around the world, and they're put onto silk satin, 100% beautiful buttery silk satin scarves and ties, and 16 by 16 inch pillow covers. And so we sell these, and the money that we make from these supports Embrace the Angel and all of the donations of the scarves and ties and such. So if you're looking for an amazing gift for someone you love, certainly we would recommend the angels. But also, you know, we have the Art of Hearts, which is a great collection of hearts from Missy Fraser, an amazing photographer, and Fraser Needle. She's married now to the love of her life, Charles. And we have Doors of Funchal Madeira. We have Creatures and Doors and Windows of the U.S. Naval Academy. So yeah, those are the things that we do, and I love it. And so we sell at tobiasandcompany.com, all spelled out. We sell on Etsy. If you'd like to support our work on Patreon, please do. It's Patti DiMiceli on Patreon. We've set up a GoFundMe account with my name, Patti DiMiceli, and NavyOnline.com. And if you look up that, it's Tobias and Company, LLC. So power plus pebbles plus angels equals action, baby steps to spread Amber's message of hope, heaven, and the miracle of life and death. So I do this by handing out the pebbles, reach out to the world via media, which I'm doing now. I'm really excited to be reaching out. I'm taking Rachel Hanfling's Power of Story course, just to kind of narrow down like who I am, why I'm here, what I'm doing, and do it in a way that appeals to people and hopefully gets Amber's message across. So yeah, I continue my light work, which I love. I'm doing some grief coaching right now. I do some end-of-life doula work, and I specialize in pet loss. I absolutely love working with pets and their owners as they make that transition. And I'm also a life coach. So yeah, I'm finished scanning those angels. So we got the pillow now, which is so exciting. And yeah, I'm just reaching out now to donate the pillows. We're going to start here locally as a Pebblewood with Hospice of the Chesapeake and Anne Arundel Medical Center, Wellness House, other places locally that need these silky angels to help and elevate their clients. I want to desperately get some of these beautiful pillows to Ukraine and to Poland and other places around the world where children are suffering. Children are suffering everywhere. I'm planting the Live in the Light seed, and I have the Send the Angels program, where if you go on Embrace the Angel, you can send the angels. So I've been doing this for folks, especially if they can't be with their loved one when they're grieving. We send pouches of angels and a handwritten note from them. If they want to, they will send me the copy that they want to put on the note, and we send angels to them. So we've also sent scarves and ties and pillows as well. So it's just a wonderful way to send the angels when people are grieving or dying. And then, like I said, we're doing our nationwide Power of Pebbles and Angels tour. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, gosh, it's going to be great. So we're going to head to the Angel Factory in Vermont. Then we head west with stops along the way, down the West Coast after I see my son Toby and his wife Kimberly in Washington State. Visit some folks, get back to the City of Angels where I started, see some friends and family there, then head back east and up the East Coast back to my home of Annapolis. So I'm excited about that. And I'll be posting on our YouTube channel so you can follow us. So this is a little 2-minute trailer that we did for Sophie Handel did. I collaborated with her. She is one amazing videographer and very talented. So it's about 2 minutes. But get this, I had to choose the music. I chose the music. I love the music. The name of the music, When Dreams Come True. Who knew? Welcome to Angelina, my new home, my tiny home on wheels. And I would love to share this next adventure with all of you. So come along, come right in. It feels so good to be home. And I love the feeling of planting roots on wheels. So this is an exciting adventure. My first time ever in a fifth wheel, though I've lived aboard for several years. It's similar, but it's more stable, if you will. And I'm about to launch a 1,000-mile journey towards the sun, and bringing you with me would make it even more special. So thank you for coming, and thank you for joining me. Master of my own universe. They say that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step, and this is a lifelong, exciting journey. I still can't believe it's me. That is so cool. Whoops. Okay, let's see if we can't move this little doggy right along. There we go. And here's my beloved circle of angels. This is my bulletin board here in my rig. Amber and I, that's one of my favorite photographs of us together. She used to love to just squeeze me and hug me. That's one of her modeling shots. I'd just gotten her into modeling. And there's my son, Toby, and his wife, Kimberly. I love them both, and they love each other. It feels wonderful to have, my son be happily married. I love that. I could learn from them. And here's my bulletin board, as I said, and here's Annie on a Harley. I used to send out Christmas cards with her, usually doing something silly and wonderful. And I have the Siffles and Susan and Z and Rita and Larry and their girls, Sophie and Ellie and Barbara and Beth Bustler and Hallie and, oh my goodness, Angie and Summer and Tommy. It feels really, really, really good to be loved. I love it. I'm so happy here. So please feel free to reach out to me. You can always reach me at patty.embracetheangel@gmail.com. And the website is embracetheangel.com. It's the hub for pretty much all of my angel work. I am working right now on my pattydimiceli.com website so that my clients, my coaching clients, can book through the website to make it easier for them. So I'm working on that. Please stay tuned, and I'll put that up on embracetheangel.com as well. And you can also visit tobiasandcompany.com, and that's where we have all of our cool products, the greeting cards and the prints and silks and all kinds of cool stuff. So yeah, so I just wanted to thank all of you guys for being here, for listening to me, watching some things, part of my life, and being incredibly gracious and supportive of who I am and why I'm here on earth. I'm an angel in a human cloak, and I know this to be true. So let's see. I'm going to open this up for questions. We don't have a lot of time left, but I'm going to exit my share screen situation here and get back to the reality of where I am. I know it's kind of confusing here. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Share screen. Cancel. Ta-da! Okay, here I am. Oh my goodness. Well, that was really, really amazing to just share my life with you and share my hopes and dreams and everything else with you. Golly, so, oh my goodness, are these all these comments for me? Wow, really? Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So these are lots and lots and lots of different comments. Okay. Because I was thinking, oh geez, could I really answer them all? But just out of curiosity, if anybody has any questions, please do put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. If there are no questions or comments even, what I'd like to do then is just maybe share a couple stories with you. Oh, it was wonderful, but we couldn't see the slides. Really? Oh dear. Okay, how interesting. So yeah, a little, I guess, a technical glitch. We couldn't see the slides. Well, you know, patience is my life lesson, and that's the way it goes sometimes. But what I'd like to do is just share a couple of stories with you about, some of the things that I've encountered. When I was headed up to the Angel Factory in Middlebury, Vermont, Danforth Pewter, I had brought some scarves and ties and pillows with me. I was heading up the New Jersey Turnpike, and I was on I-95, and you can't pump your own gas in New Jersey. So I rolled down the window, and a gentleman came up, and I said, "Oh, could you fill it up with super, please?" And he kind of looked wistful, and he said, "Sure." And he's standing there pumping the gas, looking like off into the distance. And I said, "Hi." I got out of the car. I said, "Hi." I said, "I have something for you." And he kind of looked at me, and I said, what I shared with you, I'm a pebble thrower in the still pond of life, and these are my pebbles. And so I just, I handed the bag here. So I opened up the bag and I said, "Take one for yourself and one for someone you love." And he did. And I said, "Peel off the back and look at your special word." And he peeled off the back, he peeled off the coin, and on the back of the coin was the word hope. And he started crying uncontrollably. And he said that his daughter had just died 2 weeks earlier, and his wife had no hope. She didn't want to live. And he was like hugging me. And so I said, "Wait, I went in the back of my car and I had boxed up in a gift box a silk scarf, and I gave it to him and I said, "Here, give this to your wife and tell her that it's from an angel and that she's not alone." And so he did, and he took it, and as I pulled away, I looked in my rearview mirror and I could see a different man. He was literally jumping up and down, and he ran to his coworkers to share what had just happened to him. And I said out loud, "Amber, this is not me. This is you. I am here doing your work in the world, not mine." So that was really, really, really beautiful. And another story that I'd like to share, let's see if I have time here. Yeah, just a few minutes. So another story I'd like to share is before I bought Angelina, before I bought my rig, I would watch YouTube folks, especially women that were already living full time in an RV. And one of the people was Carolyn's RV Life. And so I followed her. And one Christmas, she had this, well, 2 Christmases now, but she had this contest where she said, if you're a small business, I want to highlight you. And so please, send in something, and or her watchers or followers could enter the contest to win, and then we would send them the gifts. So I entered and I gave them a scarf, a tie, and a pillow. And I sent it to a woman in Florida who won it. She worked for hospice. And she said, "Ooh, I figured out who I want to give this pillow to." A little 5-year-old girl was there at the hospice, and her mother, who was 29, was dying of cancer. And they gave her the pillow. She took the pillow and she crawled into bed with her mother. And the woman said, "I know that when her mother dies, that she will have this pillow to always feel connected to her." And it reminds me of this. This is the key to heaven, and I still have this key. I keep it near me. I keep it with me. It reminds me that Amber is still here, that she did not leave. She's always with me. So yeah, those are the two stories that pop out. There are so many other stories, and I'm sure you have your own. Yeah, and where do I go from here? Well, I'm continuing to work on Grace's Angels. Grace is actually putting together a little note to include with the pillows that we give away to the critically ill children and the grieving children. I'm going to continue doing podcasts and reaching out to the media. One of my very favorite podcasters is Ken Hanneman. He does Ungraduated Living and Learning. I am episode 18. So if you want to listen to that podcast, please feel free. Continuing to reach out, continuing to spread the message, trying to find a way, if anybody knows a way, to get those pillows to the kids in Ukraine. I've seen so many reports of sad, broken children. But, children need hope. They have hope. On the hang tag that I had here, I'm going to find that thing because I think it's important. I did send a message to the world on the hang tag of Grace's Angels, and I'm going to read that for you now if I have time. I hope I do because it's important. Okay, Grace's Angels inside. Here we are. So it tells a story of Grace's Angels, but this is what I say, the last paragraph. It took her nearly 4 years. Grace didn't collect 100 angels. She collected 164 from children all over the world, many with rainbows and messages of hope, courage, love, inspiration, and wisdom, all of them precious and powerful. None of the angel artists knew the recipients, the color of their skin, the country they live in, the faith they practice, how much money they have, or the people they love. They only knew one thing. Sick children needed to be comforted by other human beings who truly love and care for them, and they had the creative power, the empathy, and the will to take action and do something about it. Our children are our loved ones. Our animals are as well. They're the wise ones. Listen, they will teach us to love, to laugh, to live in the light. So that was a really, really, really neat way of saying kids and our animals are the wise ones. They are still angels.